Good morning, Ankita.
Good morning.
How's your health now?
I'm feeling better.
Good. Have you all completed your random forest assignment? All done? Sab kam ho gaya? आज दोनों है। हाँ। Ankita, have you completed your assignment? LMS assignment on random forest?
Not yet. Some points are remaining.
Okay. चलो शुरू करें. It's already late.
तो आपने रैंडम फॉरेस्ट और दिया था ना, इसमें रिलीज करनी है क्या क्या दिया था प्रिंसिपल क्लियर है अभी फिर रिवाइज में थोड़ा सा
थियरी करना है।
हाँ थोड़ा दोनों के अंदर
ठीक है। So random forest is a collection of decision trees. ठीक है। So there are two things of in random forest. एक है, it is built in, it is a bagging technique. Okay. Bagging technique means that it is going to take random features in a tree, random n features with replacement. Okay, so the problem of overfitting is reduced when you are creating random forest. This can be used for both classification and regression. So ये जो technique of random n features with replacement, this is called as bootstrapping method. Now the hyperparameters that you can tune is number of features in each tree is fixed. So n is fixed. And you can also configure how many trees, kitna forest mein trees build karna hai. Okay, so you can select that number. So it can be 20 trees, it can be 50 trees, it can be 100 trees or 10 trees. Okay, so these things can be configured as hyperparameters. So unlike a decision tree where the results come from only one tree, random forest builds multiple trees. So more than one tree. And it is built in parallel. Okay, you can have n number of trees. So every tree is going to make a prediction. So chances of getting the right answer is very high because it is going to take a majority voting for classification and mean for regression. Okay, so that's the concept behind random forest. Clear?
Yes.
Now we'll come to today's session on KNN. KNN is known as K nearest neighbor. So NN stands for nearest neighbors. So this is a very, very simple algorithm which is used for, once again, for classification and regression. Now, how this algorithm works is based on distances between 2 points. अभी स्कूल पे हमने अलजेब्रा में पढ़ा होगा what is the distance between 2 points, isn't it? So we have the y-axis and the x-axis. So we have 2 points, x1, y1, and then we have x2, y2. Okay, what is the distance between these 2 points?
Using Python.
Pythagoras नहीं. So there are 3 different formulas that we can use. Okay, so what is the distance between? So this is called D. Okay, it is called Euclidean distance. So there are three distance formulas that can be used. So D equals square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So if we have more points, then x3, x2, x1, y3, y2, y1, jitna bhi points ho, it will do that. So it works on this distance formula. Okay. So this is known as the Euclidean distance. So there are other formulas also like Manhattan distance formula. And there is Minkowski's distance formula. So these are different techniques of finding the distance. You can use any one. The default distance formula used in the algorithm is the Euclidean distance. So the KNN is known as a lazy evaluator. Lazy evaluation means that whenever you want to build a model, now unlike linear regression, logistic regression, uspe kya hota hai? When we are building the model, what happens? We create a formula, right? So when we want to do some testing, we can directly apply that formula, right? So time bachta hai. What happens in decision tree?
We have a set path.
We have a set path. Okay, so once you build the formula, once you build the model, we can directly use. Okay. Now what happens in a KNN is there is no formula, there is no path. So each time you want to make a prediction, you have to build the model and then only you can apply it. So that is why it is called as lazy evaluator. Okay, so this comes under the non-parametric machine learning technique. Non-parametric का क्या मतलब है?
Values cannot be parameter.
There is no function.
Yes.
Okay. Linear and logistic are known as parametric because you can pass values to the function. Isn't it? Y equals a plus bx. Decision tree, random forest, they are known as non-parametric. So this is also part of the non-parametric machine learning technique, which is KNN. So NN stands for nearest neighbor. Now, what is the meaning of K? So K stands for K is a positive integer which is greater than 1. So it means that how many neighbors should I consider to make a decision? How many neighbors to consider to make a decision? Okay, this is known as the value of K. Okay, just to give an example that how this works. So let us say that I am taking two parameters, the age of a person and the loan amount the person has taken. Okay. Now, is there a relation between age, loan amount, and the capacity to repay? Is there a relation? Yes, there is. Okay. So my Y variable here is called as repay. So will that customer repay or will it default? Okay, so here my Y variable is going to be repay or default. Okay, now how does KNN work? So let's take some records. So this is record number. Okay. So record number 1. So let's take the age of a customer, 27 years age. The loan he has taken is for, let's say, 10 lakhs. Repay? Yes. Okay, next customer. The age is 23. The loan amount is, let's say, 17 lakhs. Repay? Yes. Then number customer number 3, age is 36, loan amount is, let's say, 95 lakhs. No. This is record number 4. Loan amount, age is 39. This is, let's say, 102. No. Okay. Then fine. And let's say this is 42, 58, and yes. Okay, let's assume that this is my data. Now I have a new data point where I have to guess or I have to predict whether this customer will repay the loan, yes or no. Okay. Now let's say that the customer age is 46 and the loan amount is 74. Now you have to predict. Okay, you have to predict whether this customer will default or whether this customer will repay the loan. Okay, now I'm going to consider how many neighbors. That is, how many customers should I consider which are close to customer number 6. Okay, that is, those are known as the nearest neighbors. Let me draw a new graph here. Yes. So let's say that these are my nearest neighbors. So this is neighbor 1. Okay, this is neighbor 2. This is neighbor 3. Okay, these are the 5 customers. Okay, and I won't say nearest. These are the 5 customers. There. Then this is the new customer. This red one. Now I need to figure out what is going to be the prediction for the red customer given the value of K equals 3. K means the nearest 3 neighbors. I told you value of K is a positive integer greater than 1. Okay, so I am taking K equals 3. That is K equals 3. So 3 NN. 3 nearest neighbors. So who are the nearest neighbors of red? Okay. So how do you determine the nearest neighbors? Jiska distance come, whose distance is the least. So the distance between red and 1, red and 2, red and 3, red and 4, red and 5. So how do you calculate the distance of these customers? So let's do this calculation in Excel. Things will be much faster. Ankita, is this clear to you? Any questions? Okay. So I have taken age, which is X1. And loan amount, which is Y1. As X2. Okay. And my Y variable is status, let's say. So let's look at the values. We'll quickly do the calculation. So 27, 23, 27, 23, 36, 39, 42, 36, 39, 42, 46, 46. Okay. And loan amount is 10, 17, 95, 10, 17, 95, 102, 58, 74. And the status is yes, yes, no, no, yes, 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 no, no, yes. And then question mark. This is what we have to predict. Okay. Now, what is the formula for the distance? Now, which is the new customer here? This one, the customer number 7. This is a new customer. What is the distance? Age. Okay. Plus loan amount. Isn't it? और इसका क्या करना है? Square root. So square and square. So what is the age distance between the new customer and the first customer, new customer and the second customer, new and third customer, etc., etc. So now we'll calculate the distance. So क्या formula है? X2 minus X1 whole square. So which is X2? You can take any one. So मान लो ये X2 है. So X2 minus X1 the whole square. तो इसका क्या करना है? Power function है. So power of comma 2. So 46 minus 27 कितना है? 19. 19 square 361. Okay. So X2 minus X1 plus Y2 minus Y. That is loan of new customer minus loan of first customer. So power of 74 minus 10, which is how much? 64. So 64 square कितना है? 3000. Sorry, ये comma 2. It will be some number. Okay. So दोनों को add किया 4457. Now we have to take a square root of this. So square root. So the distance between the new customer and the first customer is 66.7. Okay, just add one more column. Customer ID. 3, 4, 5, 6. So distance between 6 and 1 is 67.7. Now do the same thing for 6 and 2, 6 and 3, 6 and 4 and 6 and 5. ठीक है? अभी यहाँ पे we'll use the same formula. अभी इसमें common क्या है? D7 is common. So we will put dollar. Dollar means constant term. और यहाँ पे C7 is constant. ठीक है? And now drag and drop this formula. ठीक है? So now we have the distances of customer number 6 with each of the customers. अभी हमारा problem क्या है? I have to find out the prediction based on k equals 3. ठीक है? So who are the nearest customers? 4, 5, 6. So we have to sort this data in the ascending order. तो ascending में करने से क्या आएगा? This will be the nearest customer. This will be the second nearest customer. This will be the third nearest customer. Right? अब इस customer का क्या class है? What is the y variable? Will he? What is the status? Will he default? Yes or no?
Yes.
हाँ तो सॉरी यहाँ पे रीपे लिखना था. ओके तो यहाँ पे रीपे. So repay, yes. So he will repay. Second customer का क्या है? Repay, no. So यहाँ पे no नहीं, I'll put he will default. Third का क्या है? Default. Now take a majority count. Out of the 3, maximum classes कौन सा है? Default. So what is the prediction for this customer? Default. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
So this is huh?
K value depend. K value is constant or
No. I'm just taking an example. Okay, this is not how you determine K. K value is determined using a cross validation technique. I'll tell you how to do it. समझ में आ गया? This is the working principle of K nearest neighbor. अगर मान लो मैं K का वैल्यू यहाँ पे 4 लेता, what would have been the prediction? 2 yes, 2 no. So there is a tie. Okay. So in classification, the value of K should always ideally be an odd number. Odd में क्या होगा? You will never have a situation of a tie. There will be one majority. Regression में there is no issue. You can have even numbers also because it is only going to take an average. But classification में, especially when you are doing a binary classification, there are chances that you might encounter a tie. So in that situation, you don't know which one to pick.
So KNN is a binary classification.
Multi. This can be used for both binary and multi-class. Okay, any questions? समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when should you use the KNN to classify your data? What are the other things that you should remember? So let's quickly look at those things. So the distance formula is used on numeric data, isn't it? You cannot calculate distance between two categories. Male and female distance you cannot calculate. Okay, so distance is between numbers. So that means my data set should be a numeric data set. Correct? हमने ये एग्जांपल भी देखा एक्सेल पे. Age is a number, loan amount is a number. Okay. Now, ideally, KNN should be used on a smaller data. Okay, small data means when the number of rows are also on the lower side, columns are also on the lower side. Okay. Now, why is the case? ऐसा क्यों है? Why does it work well when your data is relatively small?
We have selective amount of K.
One is that.
Complication.
क्या complication है?
Formula gets bigger.
Formula gets bigger and it is going to take a lot of time because it is a lazy learner. Okay? Each time you want to make a prediction, you have to go through the entire cycle of building the model. Okay. So this is well suited, you can say, small data sets. Another thing you have to remember when you are implementing KNN is, because it uses the distance formula, the unit of measure, UOM is unit of measure. Unit of measure means every column is represented in a different unit. Kilograms, grams, centimeter, age, years, days, liters, है ना? सबका अलग-अलग हो सकता है. Now, because of this difference in the units, the numbers can also vary. So if I give 1000, now is this a big number or a small number? That will depend upon the unit. So 1000 liters is a big number. Okay. Whereas 1000 milliliter is a small number. Okay. Now to avoid this confusion and making the calculations fast, we always standardize the data.
Transformation.
That is called transformation. Okay, so standardization of the data is preferred. So standardization का मतलब क्या है? What are the different types of standardization? What is standardization?
So all numbering. So within the range.
Correct. So standardization means you are transforming the entire data into a fixed range. So transforming data into a fixed range. तो ये फिक्स रेंज में क्या क्या फॉर्मूलास आएंगे? What are the min max है? Correct, very good. One is called min max. दूसरा है Z score. Okay, min-max will transform the data between 0 and 1. Z-score will transform the data between -3 to +3. Okay, there is one more function that you can use, but not recommended. That is called sigmoid. Sigmoid कहाँ पे आता है? Logistic regression. Okay, so you can use the sigmoid function also. And one more thing about KNN is there are no assumptions.
जो डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल रहेगा तो आपका जो क्लासिफिकेशन रहेगा बाइनरी बाइनरी
बाइनरी भी हो सकता है, मल्टी क्लास भी हो सकता है.
ऑलवेज इज बाइनरी और मल्टी क्लास नॉट न्यूमेरिक डाटा.
डेटा या वाई वेरिएबल व्हाट
बाय वेरिएबल.
हाँ, it can have a binary class or a multi class.
There are not necessarily numeric data.
It can be 0 1 भी हो सकता है, क्यों नहीं? Y variable can be 0 and 1, positive, negative. It can be yes or no.
Okay. मुझे क्या बोलना था, जो बाइनरी हम वही जो बाइनरी है तो बाइनरी लिखा कंफर्म. ऐसा कुछ नहीं 0 1 रहेगा तो न्यूमेरिक डाटा है, फिर भी वो y और no से कोरिलेट कर.
हाँ,
वही जो नंबर हमें नहीं आएगा जो हम
नहीं, नंबर कुछ भी आ सकता है. I can have 2.4 also.
अपना जो लिनियर में करते थे ना, जो अपन प्रेडिक्शन करते थे वैल्यू, वैसे नहीं इसमें आएगा. किस पे लिनियर में करते थे ना प्रेडिक्शन y वैल्यू, वैसे नहीं आएगा.
उस आएगा तो वो रिग्रेशन पे होगा ना. Y variable can be a class or it can be a continuous number. Continuous number means it is regression. अगर discrete value है तो it is classification. Clear?
Yes.
आज बाकी कहाँ है? नहीं आने वाले?
नहीं यार, कोमल नहीं.
मनीष नहीं है. Komal is not here and आपने have you done min-max scalar? Z-score किया है? How to calculate?
X minus.
Okay, we'll take this example. यही वाला. Now I want to convert the age and the loan into a min-max format. Okay, so min-max of age. तो उसका फॉर्मूला है min-max का the age value minus the minimum of age value divided by max of age minus min of age. Okay, now if you use this formula, you will see So what is the max of age? Max age कितना है? So you can do max of, which is 46, and minimum कितना है? So min of, which is 23. Okay, so now use the formula. 27 minus min of age divided by max of age minus min of age. So now you see it has transformed itself between a number 0 and 1. So all these things you can make it common. And now if you drag and drop this formula, you will see that everything is converted between 0 and 1. Okay, so this is how you can do the transformation. अगर आपको Z-score transformation चाहिए, what is the Z-score formula? So this is Z-score of age. Z-square का formula क्या है? X minus mu upon sigma. Okay, mu क्या है? Mean. Okay, so mu of age and then sigma of age. Mean means mu means mean, and sigma means standard deviation. Okay, so average of age and then standard deviation of the data. Okay, so now if I use the formula x minus mu, so x value is minus mu divided by standard deviation. So this will get transformed within the range -3 to +3. Okay, so now if I have to do the calculations, I have to use this number, that is min-max number or the Z-score number. Now, because of the shorter range, the calculations are much faster. Okay, questions, doubts? Now, according to the industry standard, the value of K should ideally be between 3 and 11. Okay, this is a recommended number, but you are free to change this. This is recommended. Okay, so that's all we have in the theory part. I have forwarded the data set. Yes, तो वो सबको दे देना. We'll start with the hands-on.
We have shared two data sets.
One for classification, one for regression. मिल गया data sets? Ankita, have you got the data set? Okay. So we'll just go through the data first. Data set. ये है ना wheat. So this is the data set for the type of wheat. So can you tell me what kind of a classification is this? Dekho, look at the data and tell me. So we have to predict the type of wheat based on the different features. So we have the kernel length, compact perimeter, area. So based on this, we have to determine whether it is which type of wheat. So what kind of classification do we have? It's a multi-class. Okay, type 1, type 2, and type 3. Now look at the data. It is all numeric data. So we can easily find the distance between them. Okay, now do we have to worry about outliers? Not required. Okay, because there is no assumption in KNN. If you give a extreme number, it is going to calculate it and then give you the answer. Okay. But again, as a precautionary measure, it is always recommended to fix outliers. Okay, so let's get started. And other thing is the data is arranged according to the type. So all the ones are in one place, all the twos are in one place, all the threes are in one place. So we have to randomly shuffle the data. Okay. So it is a multi-class classification. So we will start with the libraries first. Paint test split. And then we also need the cross validation score. So the cross validation score is to find out the best value for K.
Sir, why do we need the accuracy score?
For cross validation.
Because I thought that we are already getting one and binary multi-class output, so the accuracy cannot be measured, right?
Why not?
If we are getting other output 2 IM here, so accuracy can be measured.
Output 2.
Like give some values and the model predicted it has to be 2. Mean type 2 here.
2 कैसे आएगा?
Example, I gave some values to the model. And I told it fit and predict the output, and it gave me the type as 2, mean type 2. So how will we measure the accuracy for it?
वो probability आएगा ना? See, multi-class में कैसे prediction होता है? You can only have one class, but you have 5 candidates, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4 है मान लो. You have 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 3 classes. Okay. So which class should be predicted? So 3 probabilities will be predicted. So highest है, that is the class. That is how multi-class can be. And what else do we need? We also need from sklearn pre-processing. Pre-processing is used for data transformation. Now let's check the dimension. (210) records and 8 columns, out of which 7 features and 1 Y variable. Then check the data types. So we can see that everything is a number. Next, you can find out the distribution of the classes, Y value distribution. So read dot type dot value underscore values. क्या दिख रहा है आंसर? All equal. Okay, very rare to find this. Okay, Tejas? 70, 70, 70. Okay. Now we will do the data transformation. Okay. Now for data transformation, it is always recommended that you make a copy of the data set so that you have the original data in place and also have the copy with the transform data. So do the data transformation. So I'm going to make a copy first. So wheat underscore. I'll call this as transform. Now there are two types of transformation that you can do. One is called standard scalar. ये है 5 and 5 नहीं 4 ना PGF 4. Okay. So standard scalar is one data transformation and the other is called min-max scalar. So let's try with standard scalar. And after that, you can try min-max scalar to see the performance. Okay. So I'm going to first create an instance of standard scalar. If you have to use min-max scalar, you will create one instance of min-max scalar like this. Okay, you can use this later on. Just comment it for the time being. Okay, now we have to transform the data. So we'll say transformed data equals SS, which is the standard scalar, dot fit underscore transform. Now, which data I want to transform? Now, remember, when I'm doing a transformation, there are two things. One is the features, the other is the Y variable. Okay, so when I'm doing a transformation on the data, the X will also get transformed, the Y will also get transformed. Okay, when I'm doing the transformation, but I don't want the Y to be transformed. Y has to be as it is. Okay, if I transform this into a value, it will be 0.2. That means my class, you are transforming it. Okay, so this is wrong. My features only should be transformed. Okay. This is especially true for classification. Regression mein you can do it. But again, the problem is when you're predicting, the predicted data will be in the transformed format. Usko again, you have to retransform. Okay, so remember this. So let me first transform the whole data. So which data should be transformed? Which data? The copied data. So wheat underscore tr dot iloc. Because I want the result to be in a data frame format. Otherwise, I will get the data in an array format. So I'm using iloc, all the rows, all the columns.
Then we can itself give iloc all the rows, all the columns, and -1. So Y won't be transformed.
Suppose the Y is not in the as a last column, what will you do? What you're saying is right. In this case, I can give -1 because Y is the last variable. Suppose Y is in somewhere in the center.
Yeah, then we need to count and that.
Then you can either move it to the front or to the back and then do it. But this is safe. Okay, so I'm first going to transform the data. So TR data will have the transformed data. Now I have to copy this transformed data back into the data frame, which is wheat underscore TR. Okay, so wheat underscore TR dot iloc, all the rows, all the columns equals TR data. I can do it in one line also. I can do this here itself. Instead of creating a variable, I can directly do it in one line. But just for your understanding, I'm doing this in 2 lines. Okay. Now let us see the difference between the actual and transformed data. So this is my actual data, wheat.head. Just take the first 3 records. This is the actual data. Now look at the transformed data, wheat underscore TR dot head. Now see the difference. Record IDs are the same, 0, 1, 2. Now this is the transform data. Now if you look at the y variable has also got transformed. That has become minus 1.22, which is wrong. So now we have to set it back to its original form. Okay, so set the y variable to its original form. So we can do wheat underscore tr dot type equals wheat dot type. Because the order of original data and transform data is the same. So it will simply overwrite all the values. Now check the difference. Now it has the type, which is the y variable, into its original form, which is 1, 2, 3. Clear है ये? Ankita, any questions from you? They just, ठीक है? Okay. So now I have my original data. I have the transform data. अभी क्या करना है? We have to shuffle. Okay. Now shuffle the data. So we will do wheat underscore tr equals wheat underscore tr dot sample. And I have to give the fraction as 100% so that everything will be sampled. So frac equals 1. Now check wheat underscore tr dot head. So look at the first 20 records and see. Now you can see that it has been shuffled. So 3, 1, 2. If you want to shuffle further, just execute this once again. So keep shuffling till you are happy with the order. Next. Split the data into training and testing. So I'm taking a 75-25 split. So there are 157 records in the training data, and in the test data, let me check. There are 53 records in the testing data. Okay. Okay, we'll take a small break, and 10:45 we'll meet by 11 and continue. So let's start. Okay, have you completed till this point?
Yes.
यहाँ तक हो गया? Splitting of the data. Okay. So next is we have to determine the best value for K. Okay, now in the example, we took value of K as 3. Okay, that was just to demonstrate, but in real life, how do you find the value for K? So I told you that industry standard is the K value could be between 3 and 11. You can take any value. So let us take a list of K. NumPy, just import the NumPy function here. So I want to start from 3. Okay, so 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. What is the meaning of 3, 12, 2?
Start at 2, end at 11, and the step is between 3 and 12.
Step size 2. Okay, so 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9, till 12 minus 1. Okay. Now for every value for K, that is when I have 3 neighbors, 5 neighbors, 7 neighbors, 9 neighbors, and 11 neighbors, I have to find where I'm getting the maximum accuracy because it is a classification. So I'll create one list called CB accuracy. Store the accuracy value for every K. The best K, the max, so the maximum accuracy equals value of K. Okay, so now we'll do a for loop. So for every K in LST of K. So you build the model. So the model is K neighbors classifier. And start with the value, which is the first value in the list, which is 3. Okay, so you build the model when with neighbors as 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So you will have 5 different models. and then you find the scores. So we have already loaded this library cross-validation score for the model. A range, arrangement. A range, AR होता है. Okay, so cross-validation score, the model, the training data, which is train X, train Y. Now, the cross-validation has to be done for how many times? Okay, so you can put any value here. So let's say I want to do a 10-fold cross-validation. And because it is a classification, so scoring mechanism will be accuracy. Okay, so this is a 10-fold cross-validation. Now, can you tell me how many values will this return? Cross-val score is doing a 10-fold cross-validation. So how many values will this course have in the first iteration? 10. Isn't it? Because neighbors equals 3. Sorry, k equals 3. So using the 3 neighbors, it is building a model. And using this model, I'm doing a cross-validation where cross-validation value is 10. So this will return how many numbers? 10 numbers. And these 10 numbers are what? Accuracy values. Okay, so I have to take an average of all these numbers. Okay, so that will give me what is the average accuracy when neighbors equals 3. Okay. So here you can write CV underscore accuracy dot append. Scores.me. Four. So first iteration, there will be 10 cross-validation scores. You take an average, you get one value. So at the end of the iteration, how many values will be there in CV underscore accuracy? 5. Because I'm taking an average, isn't it? So there'll be 5 values. CV accuracy not defined. Okay, so now if I print CV underscore accuracy, there are 5 values. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. Ankita, have you finished this code? Is this clear to you? Okay. Now the next thing is we have to determine based on these accuracies, what is the value of K? Okay, now how do you determine that? Now this is a one-to-one mapping. This corresponds to K equals 3. This corresponds to K equals 5. This is 7. This is 9. And this is 11. Right? Now, without looking at these numbers, I need to automatically get it. So how do you determine the value of K? So I'm going to first do, you can write here, find the best K. So you can do it in two ways. You can plot a graph, or you can use the concept of list. The list ka jo property hai, we will use that property. Okay. So first is, what is the maximum value of the accuracy? So CV underscore accuracy. So here I'm getting the number as 0.93125. Okay. Now in Python, how do you determine the index of a number or of a value? I have a list.
Yes.
And in that list, let's say there are 20 elements. I want to find, let's say that it is a list of names. Okay. And I want to find at which location I have the word called Yash. So how do you determine that?
The index of the starting from 0 to the numerator.
I have a list of names. Okay. Let's say this name, this class.
Right.
So there is an entry called Yash. I want to find out at which index location Yash is present.
First variable name. Inside the variable name, you can be in square bracket to put the index.
But kya hai? Which is the index? I do not know.
Sequence kya hai?
It can be anything. So there is a function, there is a property of a list called index. Okay. Now what is my list name? CV underscore accuracy. Okay. Now in this list, I want to find out what is the index Index of what? Index of the maximum accuracy value. Okay. Now, what is the maximum accuracy value? 0.93125. What is this index? I'll use the index function. So it is giving me index of 1. Index of 1 का क्या मतलब है? The second value. Now, how do I get the value of k using this index?
We use the array list k.
Correct. So here I'll put lst underscore k, and within square brackets, this index number. So this will give me 5. So my best k is 5.
So I get 3.
That's okay. So now I can say k equals I can use print best k equals str of k. ये वाला clear है? The second method is, if you don't want to use the properties of list, you can plot. So plot the accuracy versus the k values. So along the x-axis, I'm plotting the k values. Along the y-axis, I'm plotting the accuracies. You can say neighbors. Okay, I need to install, I need to import matplotlib. So now can you determine which is the best value for k based on this graph? Same concept, highest accuracy. So along the y-axis, you have the accuracy. So the highest accuracy is occurring at this point, and this corresponds to 5. Now build model and predict using the best key. So neighbors.k neighbors classifier n underscore neighbors equals k. So what is the value of k? It is 5. Dot fit train x and train y. Okay, so now in this classifier, the default distance formula use this Euclidean distance. I told you there are 3 types of distances: Euclidean distance, Manhattan distance, and Minkowski's distance. Okay, default is Euclid. Now, if you want to change the distance formula, so this is the hyperparameter tuning that you can do in the distance formula. So use the HP. HP is hyperparameter, which is called metric. So here, if I want to use a different distance formula, I will use metric equals okay, or I can use the Minkowski. Minkowski. I think this is the spelling. I hope this is right. Okay, and just find out what is the Minkowski. Okay, spelling mistake. Minkowski. Okay, so the values are Manhattan, Minkowski, and Euclidean, Eucledian. Okay, so you can use any one of these three measures. Okay, so I'm just going to take the default as of now. Then do the prediction. On the test data. So create data frame to store the result and print the confusion matrix. So we can create the data frame as pd.data frame. The actual data is test y. The predicted data is P1. And now print the confusion matrix using the cross tab function. So pd dot cross tab. The actual data, so df dot actual. Then df dot predicted. And then give margins equals true. So is this a good model? So let's find out. First, we will print the accuracy. So print model accuracy equals dot format. Accuracy score. Actual data. So I can just copy paste this one. So my model accuracy is 92.45%. Is it a good model? तेरे समझ में आ रहा है? कहाँ पे?
जो आपने किया ना, तो डिस्टेंस में कौन से यूज करना है?
कौन सा?
कौन सा यूक्लिड और मैनहट्टन?
हाँ,
उससे नहीं समझ में आ रहा।
तो ये 3 डिस्टेंस फॉर्मूला है, मैनहट्टन, मिन्काउस्की, यूक्लिडियन. यू कैन यूज एनी वन. ठीक है, तो डिफॉल्ट इज आई थिंक डिफॉल्ट मिन्काउस्की, आई एम नॉट श्योर. ओके, अगर आपको चेंज करना है तो मेट्रिक इक्वल्स वो नाम देना है, अदरवाइज यू कैन टेक द डिफॉल्ट. ठीक है, फिर मॉडल बिल्ड हो गया, फिर प्रेडिक्शन ऑन द टेस्ट डेटा, फिर स्टोरिंग द रिजल्ट इन अ डेटा फ्रेम, एक्चुअल डेटा, प्रेडिक्टेड डेटा, और फिर उसका कंफ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स. कंफ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स के बाद मॉडल एक्यूरेसी, और उसके बाद क्लासिफिकेशन रिपोर्ट. एक्चुअल डेटा एंड प्रेडिक्टेड डेटा. अभी देखो, क्लास 1 87% correct predictions, class 2 90% correct predictions, class 3 100% predictions. Okay, so we can make out from the chart also. यहाँ पे देखो, this is class 3. Okay, 20 out of 20. So which is how much? 100%. So which is this? Class 2 का कितना है? 9 out of 10, which is 90%. So which is this one? First का कितना है? 20 out of 23, which is how much? 20 divided by 23 is how much? 86.9. So 86.9, so that is approximately 87%. So can I say model is good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can do the class exercise. The first class exercises, build model using, अभी हमने कौन सा स्केलर किया था? Standard. So you have to use build model using min-max scalar. Okay, and then compare the results. Second, build KNN on the original data set, that is non-scaled data. So build the KNN on the non-scaled data and then see if there is any difference between the scaled and non-scaled version. So ये दोनों अभी करो and tell me if you see any big difference between the results. अच्छा ऑनलाइन कोई नहीं है, so I guess we can log off.
It won't be recorded. Lecture won't be recorded.
कोई है ही नहीं ऑनलाइन पे. What happened? ठीक है, do this.
क्या प्रॉब्लम तो दूसरा इंस्टेंस वेरिएबल बना फिर मुझे दूसरी फाइल होना चाहिए कैन बोल देते यस छापा
किती असेल ते गर्दी वाढली आता बाहेरची लोक मुंबईत खरंच चांगलं होतं. अरे काय सुख होतं रस्त्यावर काय केलं काही पुढे पेटेवाले सॉफ्ट होता ना अरे म्हणलं अरे खतरनाक दुसरं काय क्लास मध्ये येत नाही होतं काय म्हणून काहीच म्हणलं तर बसत नव्हतं काय विचारायचं ना काय काय बोलणार मध्ये नाही ना क्लिअर मग तोच डाटा सेम जाणार नाही केलं कुठायला माहितीच छावा
Hello, Ankita. Are you there? Okay. Till which part have you finished and which one you need an explanation? Okay.
Difference
अरे
right. First value is 0.80 in min max, and second value 0.95 in one. And जो आपने किया था 0.88, 0.79, 0.96.
तो उसको पूरा मॉडल बिल्ड करके then you have to show the difference. What is the difference in the overall predictions? इंडस्ट्री में ऐसा ही करते हैं.
कंपेयर कर देगा जो आपने min max को और स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन किया था उसको कंपेयर कर देगा
नहीं you don't combine, you compare. दोनों में बेटर परफॉर्मेंस किस पे है?
Can we split the data again? कि वो पुराने splitting will continue. We run the split command again on the old.
No, you have to run it again, isn't it? Because data is new now.
Yes.
शफल में जो डेटा है, अगर आप if you look at the original data, उस पे डेटा ऐसा है, क्लास 1 एक साथ, फिर क्लास 2 एक साथ, फिर क्लास 3 एक साथ. ठीक है, तो हम जब शफल करेंगे तो डेटा विल बी जम्बल्ड.
शफल नहीं किया तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहेगा.
इट इज अ गुड आइडिया, क्योंकि अगर शफल नहीं किया तो चांसेस आर दैट बायसनेस आ सकता है. इवन दो इंटरनली ये जब आप ट्रेन टेस्ट स्प्लिट करोगे, देयर इज अ पैरामीटर वेयर यू से वेदर यू वांट टू शफल यस और नो. तो वैसे भी कर सकते हैं, बट इट इज ऑलवेज गुड दैट थिंग्स आर इन योर कंट्रोल. तो शफल किया तो द डेटा विल बी समथिंग लाइक दिस.
तो फॉर में जो फॉर लूप चला है ना, मॉडल के स्कोर में अपने मॉडल डाला है, उसके बाद ट्रेनिंग से एनवायरमेंट डाला है, उसमें सीबी इज इक्वल टू 10 की है।
कहाँ पे ये है ना? ये जो क्रॉस वैलिडेशन का जो स्कोर है, okay, so my neighbor values are 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Okay. अभी मुझे क्या करना है? फॉर ईच वैल्यू ऑफ द नेबर आई वांट टू फाइंड द बेस्ट मॉडल. ठीक है, तो वो हाउ डू आई डिटरमाइन दैट? तो आई विल यूज अ 10-fold क्रॉस वैलिडेशन. आई कैन यूज 5-fold, 3-fold, वो आपकी मर्जी है. सो आई हैव टेकन अ 10-fold क्रॉस वैलिडेशन. तो फॉर लूप कहां से शुरू होगा? सो लूप के लिस्ट. ठीक है, तो इन फर्स्ट वैल्यू ऑफ के क्या होगा यहाँ पे? 3. फिर मॉडल इज बिल्ट ऑन 3. ओके, और फिर क्रॉस वैलिडेशन इज डन ऑन द मॉडल. ठीक है, अभी ये कितना क्रॉस वैलिडेशन चाहिए? क्रॉस वैलिडेशन टेक्निक इज कॉल्ड एज k-fold क्रॉस वैलिडेशन. k-fold मींस
5 टाइम्स नंबर देंगे तो आपको
कितना चाहिए. हाँ, तो वो पैरामीटर इज कॉल्ड cv. सो अभी अगर मैंने 10 दिया तो इट विल डू 10-fold क्रॉस वैलिडेशन. 10 लूप्स इंटरनली चलेंगे. सो वो आई विल गिव द वैल्यू 10. ठीक है, अब इसका जो आउटपुट है that will return me how many accuracies? It will return me 10 accuracies. हर एक क्रॉस वैलिडेशन का एक एक, तो उसका एवरेज लूंगा and then I will get the mean accuracy. और ये क्लास एक्सरसाइज में नंबर 3 I'll give do LMS exercise, LMS assignment. आपको भी जा रहा है?
I can stay also.
If you want, you can leave. If you want to stay, you stay.
अभी समझ में आ रहा है सर अच्छे से।
Very good.
डाटा नहीं देगा तो मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा।
क्या हुआ?
मैं डाटा नहीं देता ना, जो मुझे पूछा था क्वेश्चन,
हाँ,
तुमने जो मुझे जो पूरा कर दिया, जैसे अभी करते रहा हुआ है। जो लिखते थे ना सर, एक फंक्शन में लिखते थे ना, वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा, अभी समझ में आ रहा है वननेस से।
इसी को फंक्शन में लिखा है बस।
नहीं सिंगल लाइन लिखे ना आपने,
सिंगल, हाँ,
जो फंक्शन में लिखते तो बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड आता है।
नहीं, इसी को फंक्शन की तरह लिखा है बस, ज्यादा डिफरेंस कुछ नहीं है।
हमारे फंक्शन के क्लियर कंसेप्ट नहीं है।
इंडस्ट्री में आप वैसे ही लिखोगे, फंक्शंस लिखोगे, ऐसा नहीं। दिस इज सीखने के लिए ठीक है, बट ट्राई टू राइट फंक्शंस।
So stock price prediction can be a good prediction. I have started that one.
Okay.
So I'm really currently
make stock prediction. पण ते कसं ते इम्प्लिमेंटेशन करायचं कळत नाही माझं ना स्टॉकचं काढा घेते तो आणि तो जॉब करतो त्याला म्हणजे जॉब कसं स्किल करून घेणार यूएस बेस्ड कंपनी ऑल ओव्हर वर्ल्ड मध्ये जेवढे क्लायंट त्यांना डाटा बोलतो मी सांगितलं होतं मला मध्ये डाटा कसं घ्यायचं पण ॲनालिस्ट सुद्धा करू शकत नाही त्यांनी सांगितलं फक्त व्हॅल्यू जे आहे ना आउटपुटचे कसे काढायचे ते माहिती नाही इम्प्लिमेंटेशन प्रॉपर क्लियर खायला ये भारत में नहीं है सर हम स्टॉक ट्रेडिंग कर सकते हैं इससे
क्यों नहीं?
जो काउंटर हो गया तो स्टॉक ट्रेडिंग को मारना है ऐसा करना है आपको वाले और जो अपना वायर ट्रेडिंग नहीं करा
एक्चुअली स्टॉक प्राइसेस के लिए बहुत सारे टेक्निक्स हैं
सर। एक्चुअली लीनियर रिग्रेशन है, हमने अप्लाई किया लीनियर रिग्रेशन, हमने प्रेडिक्ट किया एक प्रेडिक्टेड वैल्यू है। वो प्रेडिक्टेड वैल्यू से हम एक नए डेटा की वैल्यू कैसे प्रेडिक्ट करें सर?
जो आपका फीचर्स है ना एक्स, अगर वो है तो यू कैन डू द प्रेडिक्शंस।
Suppose I've created a website for predicting example car prices. I give them dropout forms, put this whatever the features, and then they tell me to predict the price. So where do I pass those values taken from the website in the model?
The values have to be given by you.
So where do I pass them? In which function? Like linear regression dot fit and then the values?
Fit is for building the model.
Okay.
Predict.
Okay, I pass the values and predict.
Okay, test X is your input, no? Test X will be your list of values.
Okay.
The output of predict is test Y. Predicted Y.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay. Ankita, the others have left. There are only 2 people in the class today. So they had some work, so they had to leave. So if you want, you can continue, or if you have any other work, you can also leave. Because right now you are the only person in the class. Unless, of course, you have any questions, anything that if you want to discuss, otherwise you can leave for now. Okay. So if there is nothing, then we can. Okay, fine. So you can carry on with your work. You can do it offline, and we will meet tomorrow then. Okay. Thank you, Ankita. Take care.